What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 15, Sip and Spill the Tea. And can I tell you something? Ralph and Drew, just stick a fork in it because you're done. Okay? Let's get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming in with a force. Yes, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So if you haven't watched my Zatima reviews, then you don't know where I'm at. So I am in North Myrtle Beach right now, hanging on my family vacation. That's why I'm looking like Sister Soldier with this bush. We got a pool here. This is a beautiful home. We have an Airbnb for the week. So the vacation is winding down. Okay. So I will be going back to my regularly scheduled location, which is my home soon. Okay. So that's why the background look a little different and my whole family is here. So I'm in my room so that you guys don't hear cheering in the background. One of the cheering will probably be mine. So anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We are winding down to the final episode, okay? And then we have the reunion. They just released the trailer for the reunion. And I must say the reunion trailer looks better than the season. We got to do something with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, y'all remember when Real Housewives of Atlanta was like the thing to do on Sunday, right? You talking to your friend on the phone about it. This is before we discovered reviews on YouTube, right? We having watch parties. We got friends coming over. Don't talk to me while my show is on, right? We got the charcuterie boards together for the friends, the popcorn, the wine, the things. Because this was the thing to watch, right? Not anymore. Doesn't seem to be that anymore because it's not really anything that's keeping us in suspense weekly to be like, I really got to see what happens next on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's just kind of like one of those things that has settled into our routine, but now it's falling off routine because it's not anything that's keeping us wanting to come back. We need y'all, bravo. We need you to figure out that secret sauce to wanting us to come back. And I'm going to say something that y'all don't want to hear. As much as I love Kandi, okay, everybody is saying, and even Kenya admitted it, that a great cast would be Kenya, Portia, Kandi, Phaedra, Kim Zolciak, possibly, I think she said Sheree, and Nene. I think that would be an amazing cast. Actually, I would take Kim Zolciak out, and I would probably do something like bring back Shamari. Or if not her, Eva ain't coming back because she getting the money from all the Queen's men and she's doing movies. And by the way, Eva can act her tail off, okay? She don't needs to come back to the Real Housewives of nobody. That lady can act. She has found her skills, okay? Because she plays the heck out of Madam on all the Queen's men. Shout out to Eva Marcel. Girl, you are doing your thing. But if you come back and get this check from Real Housewives, girl, come on over here and collect this check. Okay? But if not Shamari, Eva, but Eva ain't gonna come back. Oh, Cynthia. Bring Cynthia back, okay? Marlo can go. Or hell, bring her back as a friend. Like she need to be. Because she's giving us friend behavior. So anyway, y'all, let's get into the episode. That's my 2 cents. Kandi, I know she don't wants to be around the Phaedra, but I think if we think about ratings for the show, a Phaedra and Kandi season will skyrocket. Housewife and a lot of y'all that don't agree that Kandi don't owe Phaedra anything. I agree. She don't owe Phaedra anything. But I do agree that if Phaedra comes back and they're on the show together, that's going to create a dynamic. Even though it's never going to happen because Candy had already said she ain't going to be on the show if Phaedra come back. I get it. But if y'all asking what's going to bring the ratings up and what's going to make it entertaining with any of the previous casts, if we bring people back, that's what it is. That's who it is. Moving on. So the show starts off where Kenya and Cynthia are having a chat, and Cynthia's divorce is final. Okay, y'all, you know what? Cynthia ain't had no drama with her divorce, maybe because they ain't got no children and they ain't really acquire a whole bunch of assets together. And I'm sure Mike wasn't asking her for a whole bunch of money and whatnot. So that seemed like a seamless situation. She, they loved and lost, and it's over. Honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth of how I feel about Cynthia in marriage. I think Cynthia don't need to marry nobody. I don't think that Cynthia knows how to be a team player in marriage. I think that it's cute for her for a little bit and then she don't want to do it no more. She get bored, or if somebody don't do exactly what she want them to do, somebody don't act the way she wants them to act. Okay, I think she got burned out with Peter. I think she tried with Peter, and Peter actually was doing stuff to ruin their marriage. Something tells me I don't think Mike Hill really did anything to ruin their marriage. I think that they just looked good together. But I think that he probably, settled into the husband lifestyle and Cynthia got bored. That's what I think. I honestly think she got bored. And I think that he is feeling terrible because he's like, I changed for you. I changed to marry you, and now I married you and you leave me. So Mike probably gonna be a playboy for the rest of his life. He gonna be like, you know what? I tried. I'm done with that because you women don't know what you want. And Cynthia, I don't think she knew what she wanted yet. She wasn't ready to get married. I think that she was infatuated with Mike. He was cute and all. They was humping every 5 minutes, and it was a long distance relationship. But once they got together and had to be together all the time, I remember when him and Cynthia were in the car and they were talking about the wedding. She was just being mean to him, and he was trying to communicate with her. I think Cynthia is spoiled. Cynthia is a boss in her own right, and she doesn't know how to be a team player in a marriage. That's my opinion. That's what I got from it. But anyway, her marriage is over. The divorce is final. Shay is holding Mecca in the next scene and chatting with Alina, her son's baby mama, and Marlo is chatting with her life coach, learning absolutely nothing. Marlo, I'm tired of her in the life coach story. Only person that can fix her life at this point is Iyanla, and I don't even know if Iyanla got it left in her. I seen Iyanla in the grocery store a couple of weeks ago. I think Iyanla tired of y'all. Okay, she done fixed enough lives. She about to just continue to live her life, and she ain't worrying about y'all. Listen, don't. Iyanla said the way she was walking with that cart when I saw her, it was given. Don't recommend me for nobody else. Okay, that's what it was given. So there's no hope for Marlo. There's no hope for her. Moving on. Sanya, Deuce, and Ross go to the doctor, and who do you know? What do you know? Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine is Sanya's doctor. I love the crossovers of it all. Love it. We had actually two people from Married to Medicine. I saw a clip of Quad from Married to Medicine at the end when Candy was talking to old boy, the old assistant guy that apparently assaulted Drew by sailing a shoe across the room to her head. Okay, but that's another story when we get there. So they find out that Sanya is 5 weeks pregnant, and Dr. Jackie lets her know that this is considered a geriatric pregnancy because she's over the age of 35. Okay, and she says Sanya asks, when can they find out the gender of the baby? And Dr. Jackie tells her at 10 weeks they can do a test to figure out what will it be. Okay. In the next scene, Candy and Todd are shooting the movie The Pass on day 4 at their house. So their movie The Pass is basically based on giving your partner a pass to go out and frolic in the land of Peen and Poon and do what you wants to do. Okay, you have a pass to do these things, and then they're exploring that in this movie. I think we have a movie like that already. It's called Hall Pass. Y'all just took a word out. Yeah, there's definitely a movie called Hall Pass, guys. Actually, I can tell you who was in it. It was a comedy, if you will. It was a main. Owen Wilson was in it. Jason Sudeikis. Is that how you say his name? But yeah, those Pete Jones, Kevin Barnett. This is a screenplay by them. Owen Wilson, Jason Sudeikis, Jenna Fisher, Richard Jenkins, and Christina Applegate, aka from Married with Children. Okay, the big sister. Yeah, so they already got a movie like this out there, but I guess they doing the remake, the black way. Okay, moving on. So they shoot the movie at their house, and the sex scene is going to be in Candy and Todd's bedroom. Now that's a bedroom Candy exclusive situation, for real. Mm-hmm. You gonna have Drew up in your bed doing the Diddy Bop with a woman? Well, hell, I guess you got to do what you got to do to save some money. Because Todd said, listen, we saving at least 6 figures by doing this movie at home. It's going to take us 10 days to shoot this movie. We on day 4. We are rolling through this thing and we are saving a coin while doing it. So, you know what? You like it, I love it. Okay, moving on. Mayetta arrives and they talk to Drew about the actual scene that she's about to be doing. And Candy says, well, we have a Drew talks about how she's nervous about doing this. She's not attracted to women, so it's going to be difficult for her to do this. Drew is just putting on the Drew-matics, okay? She dramatic Drew. The Drew-matics are just running wild, okay? She's going on and on, because I'm just not attracted to women, so I just have to dig deep within because I'm such a professional like that, I have to dig deep within and I have to find that center, and I have to imagine it. Girl, okay, do what you got to do. Candy got an intimacy coach for sis, okay, child, because we knew that she was going to do the most. So Candy got an intimacy coach to help her fix it out, okay, to make it through the scene. So Candy asked Drew how Ralph feels about her doing this scene. And, she says, well, I gave him a brief overview of the movie and whatnot. And basically, he doesn't tell me what he's doing all the time for his jobs. So, yeah, I'm in a movie. Yeah, that's all he needs to know. You and Ralph be over there playing, Drew. Y'all in this tit for tat stuff, it's giving Drew Maddox, Ralph Medics. It's too much. It's seemed too much. But y'all, whatever. That's why y'all getting the damn divorce now. So Courtney, they end up talking about the situation with Courtney at when they were out of town and were on vacation and whatnot. And Mayetta shows Drew the video of her taping Courtney basically saying that she was calling Drew a B. And Candy was like, well, I don't know if she was calling Sanya a B because she was sitting right in front of her. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking about Mayetta, if you recorded this, you had a phone in your hand in the video. Did you put the iPad over in the corner to record the ladies in secret? Y'all got to watch that Mayetta. That's what y'all got to do. Cause she not playing around with y'all. She ain't playing around with y'all. She gonna record every damn thing you doing. Okay. So Drew said, yeah, cousin Courtney is not my cousin anymore. Okay. She just Courtney now. Okay. Because she out here living wrong and I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time. She not doing me right. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on out of that relationship. So moving on. Okay. Sheree is putting together the sip and see for her granddaughter, and she says to the planner that with the donut top, he had his hair in a donut on top of his head. Okay, and she said there is no budget, but there is a budget, but there is no budget. Okay, Sheree, how many joggers you selling? I'm just trying to do a rough calculation because you said, and I quote, you ain't profited yet off of the joggers. So how is you paying for this party? Do they give you advances on the Real Housewives of the Atlanta? Girl, Okay. Well, I think her house is paid for, so I guess everything is in pocket at this point for her. But girl, it's team too much. Hold on, y'all. I gotta download some photos. I forgot to put in here. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So there are some photos that I'm going to show y'all throughout the video. It was just some things, that I found interesting that we will show at the end of throughout the video. But let's just keep going. Okay, let's keep going. So yeah, Sheree paying for this expensive party for her granddaughter, Sip and See, which I'm like, okay, girl. Now, how you gonna act when everybody else, all your other kids have kids? You gonna waste all this money doing that? Okay. Moving on, Drew is doing her sex scene, and Todd, Candy, and Moyetta are watching, and they are impressed. Todd is like, "Oh, she acting her tail off." First of all, I think that Todd was over there getting a little rocked up. Okay, I think he was very intrigued by the scene, and he was very much so turned on, very much so turned on. And I feel like him and Candy might have been turned on. Okay, just a little bit. I think it was some things going on in that corner that yeah, it was a little bit more than just appreciation for the talent, if you will. But anyway, that's y'all. I am very tanned. Moving on. So Drew is doing Todd says she acted her tail off in her confessional. Drew is doing the most to prove that she's not gay and saying she isn't naturally attracted to women. So she had to dig deep to make it happen. I'm like, okay, girl. Okay, girl. So what? So what? You're in a movie, you're doing your thing. You don't have to try to prove to us because you done got caught in this scandal with Kiss and Toya that now, we looking at you like you are just some whoremonger for women. Girl, bye. Moving on. Marlo has an event highlighting foster kids. Don't nobody care. Let me not say that. Let me take that back. I take that back. We do care about foster children. We just don't care about any events that Marlo is having. She invites everybody but Candy and Kenya to this event. She invites her minions, okay? She's presenting awards to people that have pretty much changed their lives around. She's doing this whole song and dance about how she really wants Sheree to be there. Sheree is at home setting up the event for her granddaughter. She's doing tastings and whatnot. So it's a conflict of time. But she's over here expecting Sheree to leave what she's doing to come to her event because now she's making it a big old spectacle. It's very important to me that people show up for me. With me being, a foster kid myself, it's very important. Girl, you wasn't thinking about all of that when you kept on talking about Kenya's mother abandoning her. Mm-hmm. You didn't think about your former foster child self when you do all of that. Girl, let's stop. Bravo, Atlanta, let's stop it. Let's stop trying to make Marlo a thing because she is not. Y'all have tried to pin her up, prop her up, and make her sound good for too much this season. And it's not working. We already see her for what she is, the nobody that she is. Where is this house that she was building? What's going on with that? What's going on with the children? How long? How long, Tommy? How long was the kids with the sister? How do the kids really feel about you leaving them? Because as a foster child, you gave your nephews up when it got rough and tough in your Afro puffs, okay? But you have abandonment issues. But you are having this event because you are such a philanthropist. We don't agree. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. So you want to act all crazy because Sheree is not there yet. And then when Sheree gets there in her cat suit, you all excited, overly excited. It's giving fake. It's giving real fake. And I can see cracks in this alliance with Sanya Courtney and daggone Sheree after saying your voiced her opinion about Martell not paying that daggone tab for dinner. And judging by that Love and Marriage Huntsville trailer with Martell wearing them two different color blues and that jean outfit that he had on, baby, he ain't had that 1,500. That's why he was asking for them cash apps, okay? But ain't nobody asked me. Moving on, y'all. Marlo is so fake, and kudos to her event for what she was doing, but it's fake. And y'all could have showed us. I heard on the internet that they took out Kenya's scene for the opening of her salon because she finished it and opened it. I would have much rather seen that than this scene with Marlo because it wasn't really given. She gave 2 awards out. But Marlo, here's the thing. Marlo doesn't practice what she preaches. Marlo is trifling. We don't know anything about Marlo, but we see, okay, she's doing these events for these people. Candy tried to give her clothes for the organization, and she was like, I don't want anything used. I'm sure the people don't care about getting clothes from Candy Burris, where most of it was gently used and a lot of it had tags on it, she said. But Marlo, you have a business selling used clothes. What? So it's only okay for you to provide used clothing to people, and for a high price. But Candy can't give it to you for free for people that are in need. You don't even believe in this organization that you have. So why are we giving her the screen time to display her business, but we can't have Kenya get screen time for her salon and spa? Y'all got to get production together. Something going on behind the scenes over there, and it ain't good. We smell what the Rock is cooking, and the Rock is hard and stale. Okay, moving on. Sheree is getting glammed for her event. Her granddaughter Mecca and Donut Top, the planner, comes on in and lets her know that everything is all set. Everything is good to set on time. And Sanya tells her Marlo had to attend a funeral back home, but she will do her best to try to get back. Okay. I don't even remember if Marlo was at this event. I don't think she was. No, Marlo wasn't at this event. So I guess she didn't get home in time to attend the event. So Drew is in another scene. Drew is in her trailer with her on-set assistant. Drew and all these assistants, I can't even keep up, but I think this was an assistant that was appointed to her by Todd and Candy. So this is day 6 of taping, and she's saying to the assistant, I'm gonna go ahead and get grinded out through this, but yeah, from now on, I'm not doing anything less than Lifetime, okay? Because I am Drew, okay? Drewmatic, if you're nasty. This is yeah. This is too low budget for me. I'm gonna go ahead. Girl, shut up. You will be in a Black Star Power. You will be in whatever somebody pay you. Then she was like, yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and cash this check though, honey. You're gonna do whatever somebody asks you to do. You ain't Halle Berry, sis. You're talented. I'm not gonna take that away from Drew. Drew is a very talented actress, and for Todd and Candy to be able to get her in that movie, I think it was a great thing. I think it was amazing. Because if this movie, I hope it ain't a Tubi special, child. And Drew probably the only reason why it wouldn't be. But because I ain't seen the other actors yet. But I feel like, this movie is gonna be good, and Drew is talented. I would just say that. But girl, you ain't got to put down Candy's movie. She was like, yeah, because I don't feel comfortable like being in her bedroom, talking about being in Candy's bedroom and stuff and recording. It's just kind of low budget doing it at her house. Drew, what have you been doing for the last couple of years anyway? Have we seen you in anything since the game? It's having all that talent is very wasteful if you're not using it. I think that Drew has allowed Ralph to dumb down her capabilities for so long that she doesn't even know how to be independent anymore. She has really settled into the thought of being a housewife. And we still don't even know what really Ralph does for a living. I don't know why Drew couldn't be out here using her talents and still working, finding her a level of independence in that marriage and move on. Or y'all be a power couple together, bringing in money together, him doing God knows whatever the heck he doing, and you utilizing your talents in movies. Y'all would be so much further along, and you wouldn't be worrying about $1,000 from some lady randomly wanting to come and cook meals for you and then sue you because she didn't want to be the nanny. It's all too much. It's all too much. Moving on, Ralph shows up and he rudely kicks out the assistant so he can talk to Drew. So Drew is telling him about her role in the movie, and Ralph is getting all excited about the scene with the chick. And Drew is getting upset that he's excited about it. I'm like, well, Drew, 1 minute you like he ain't asking you enough about the movie, he ain't as encouraged. Now that he's excited about something in the movie that you're doing and he's asking you more about your role, you upset. You Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde. You don't know what you want. If the man is excited about a little scene with his wife and he's fantasizing about you doing stuff, at least he's fantasizing about you. Okay? Art apparently imitates life. Because, girl, I believe you did kiss daggone Toya. And I believe you done did something with daggone that basketball player chick. Okay? But that ain't my business. Allegedly. I feel like that's my opinion. I feel like that's what you did. And just be yourself. Admit it. You're doing a lot of acting. It's giving team too much. It really is. But yeah, she was mad at Ralph because he was excited and she wanted him to be all into the fact that she's a thespian and she's very into her craft. It's we don't believe you, Drew. You don't give off a person that is so into your craft. Now, are you good at it? Yes. But if you are so passionate about acting and being in your craft, you're not out here actively trying to act. We haven't seen you in the past 2-3 seasons going and trying to get acting jobs. We seen you as Drew the housewife running around wondering what Ralph was doing in Tampa. That's all we seen you doing. Acting like you love your husband. And actively getting on our nerves. And his too, apparently. Moving on. So the ladies are arriving to the sip and see, and Sanya approaches Candy and tells her she called her. And Candy says she was on set all day. And Sanya says, I don't want to hear it. Like she don't believe that Candy didn't have time to talk to her. Sanya, what the hell was you calling her to talk about anyway? I don't believe you had nothing to talk. You wasn't talking about shit. I wouldn't answer your phone call either. I'm so sorry. Say I wouldn't answer your phone calls either because you just probably was gonna call me and you talking too fast and you might be talking about a damn Patty and your sister moving out. I don't care. Don't call me. I got things to do if I'm Candy. I have many jobs. And talking to you about nothing is not one of them. Okay? Because you've already proven to be untrustworthy. I don't care about you. And I'm not inviting you on any more vacations. Okay? Okay? If I'm Candy, this is how I would feel. Moving on from you, Sanya, because Candy doesn't care, neither do I. Okay. Cynthia walks up as they're talking, and they talk about the movie that Drew was in and the little scene up in the bed and in Candy's bed. And Sanya was like, she don't even really like the fact that they had to be up in our bed either, child. But listen, they were saving a coin, and she letting Todd live out his dream, child. So Courtney shows up, and then Shamia. Kenya pulls up and gets out the car. She's there with Akila and the B. Okay, not leave out the B, but Akila. Okay, and Akila and the lady asked her name. The lady outside asked Kenya what her name is, and Kenya was like Kenya Moore, but you should be ashamed of yourself. You know my name. I'm like, Kenya girl, I know that lady knew your name too, but she was trying to be smart, talking about what's your name. And Kenya was like, girl, don't play me. You know exactly who the hell I am. Okay. And I agree. Like, lady, don't play with me. You know I'm on the cast and I ain't no damn lookalike the last time I checked. So moving on. Shamia, when she comes in, she knows Courtney and they chat and she says, how's your daughter doing? And Courtney is like, oh, she's 24 years old now. And Shamia is like, well, how you doing with the ladies, girl? Because I'm just like, I don't know how you gonna make it, girl. Good old sweet Courtney. And she was like, I heard you was over here getting into it, child. You getting in the mix. And Courtney was like, well, I'm making it, I guess. Like, basically, like, she was like, it's been interesting. And Shamia was like, yeah, girl, because I heard you been over here cutting up. Okay. And Courtney, child, Courtney, you ain't got no get up and go about yourself at all with this cast. That's what you should have told Shamia. Shamia, you need to replace her. That's what you need to do. Because Courtney don't know what she doing. So Bob shows up, and him and Sheree are matching. The family is wearing pink, and everybody else is supposed to be wearing a nude color, right? And Bob and Sheree are taking pictures. Bob is touching Sheree a little too touchy feely, and he was like, "Oh, he was like, can I touch you right here?" He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was having flashbacks." Bob strikes me as somebody that's always on damn joke time. You always playing, and you tries to get a little inappropriate. Sheree, I don't know if you backsliding on that cockeyed buzzard, but girl, boo and bye. And Martell in his tight suit shows up as they're taking pictures. So Martell and homeboy and Bob dap it up. Then him and Sheree start taking pictures, and Sheree's like, "What took you so long, Martell?" And Martell was like, my 5 kids. That's what took me so long." Martell, you can't be using them cheering as your excuse for every reason why you doing everything absolutely wrong. Girl, Sheree, if you stay on this show, I'm gonna need you to find somebody that's not broke. You dating broke tail. You was dating Lyrone. Girl, who is it gonna be next? Dusty Dan? I don't get it. Moving on. Cairo comes over to his mama and tells her he appreciates her love. He loves her. He's like, you didn't have to. I told you not to do all of this, but I appreciate you for doing it, and I love you. I'm like, oh, that is so sweet. She ain't gonna do none of this for any of her daughters. Hell, Sheree ain't even want to tell us about the oldest daughter that she acts like she's so close to now, but she ain't want us to know that she had that baby at 14 because they only 14, 15 years apart, something like that. She ain't want us to know about her. But she was talking about them kids with Bob all day, every day, previously. On Real Housewives of Atlanta. Moving on. Drew pulls up and calls Candy, being all dramatic because she saw Anthony, Sheree, and her old assistant walking into the house. She's like, I can't go in there because someone that assaulted me just walked in. So Marietta and Candy go outside to talk to Drew. Now, I want y'all to notice something. Drew ain't have on no wedding ring right here. And I think that was her sister that was dropping her off. So you see, this is her right hand right here. And this is her left hand when she was talking to Candy and Marietta. Ain't no ring on her finger, y'all. Am I tripping? Ain't no ring on Drew's finger. So her and Ralph must have been having problems at this time. Because I spotted it. I synced it. Okay. So moving on, she's talking to Candy and Marietta, and she says, yeah, and Candy was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that y'all had an altercation. So Drew talks about being at a club or something like that, and she's at her table and she's standing on the table, and they got into it, and he threw her own shoe at her or something like that. So she was like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable going in there. Drew, you're being dramatic. Take your tail in there and confront this fool. Get your camera time because, ma'am, quiet as it's kept, you spent most of the daggone season in patient first with your children or sleep in the house off of some type of illness. Girl, go in there and earn this check. Because I would love to see some real something with you. Now, granted, I don't want to give Anthony 15 seconds of fame because I just feel like he is a thirst trap. He is very thirsty, and his mouth is as dry as the Sahara Desert. He's so thirsty, child. It's giving Team too much. So I guess Drew ain't want to give him no camera time. But girl, you needs to get on screen because you have not given anything that it needed to give this season. Moving on, Sheree is ready to do the reveal, and Anthony hugs her, and Lisa Wu is there. So Sheree says Anthony hooked her and Martell. She tells the story about how Anthony actually hooked her and Martell up. And Candy tells Sheree that Drew didn't feel comfortable coming in because Anthony is there. And he's close by and jumps in the conversation some kind of way. Now, it's so convenient that Candy and Sheree are talking and he conveniently is walking by. This is so... This is so made up. But moving on. He says, I did not. He was like, ain't nobody worrying about Drew and her unsuccessful marriage and her acting career that is down the drain. And Candy says, you had an altercation with her. And Anthony says, no, we had an issue because she owes me a coin and she owes her husband an apology and she threw her purse at me first. And Candy was like, well, you have to know that this is not right. Like, if you are attacking her, like, she's not going to want to come up in here and be around you or whatever. He was like, he was like, I don't, he was like, I respect women. I love women. He was like, it's just Drew. I don't go after anybody that don't do nothing to me first. He was like, I was simply responding to her. Child, he been, Mr. Anthony is something else. Okay. Drew said in the after show that Anthony has a marketing degree, and that's all she gonna say. And she says that he's known for setting up photo shoots in the woods. Basically, she was talking about how he must have set up that Freddie O photo shoot with Martell and Sheree. And this is basically a scheme that Todd set up for us to see Sheree, the joggers, and Martell in the bush. Okay. Moving on. Kenya pulls Martell to the side so that they can chat, and she tells Martell in front of Sheree, they're all standing there talking, that she, felt like she didn't have a man there with her, like, he was there with Sheree. And Sheree makes a comment saying, well, you don't never have a man. Girl, where is your man? Sheree, you don't have a man either. Okay, because Martell ain't never been a man, ain't never gonna be a man, and he is trash. So if you think that having somebody with male chromosomes standing next to you means that he's a man, he is not. He doesn't exhibit. He has the biological makeup of a man, but he does not exude qualities of a responsible man. How about that? So Kenya was like, and you were cursing at me, and so I had to match your energy because I didn't have anybody there to protect me. So I had to match your energy, and I didn't have anybody speaking to me like that. I don't have people speaking to me like that, and I didn't curse at you, but you did, Kenya. You definitely did curse at him. But okay, girl, you was expressing yourself or whatever. So then she says, she didn't like how he was cussing and saying that I bet you always check your DMs or whatever. So Martell apologizes to her, and Kenya says, he says, well, I feel like you owe me an apology too. She says, well, I can't apologize for defending myself, but I will say I'm sorry if you felt like, if I hurt your feelings. That wasn't a real damn apology, but they decided to move the hell on. So moving on, Sheree finally brings the baby out. The baby is sleepy and very uninterested in what's going on at this point. This baby is like, hello, I'm tired. Where's my bottle? Somebody changed my diaper. Who are these people? I don't care about any of this. Mecca is, child, she is on top of the Mecca. Okay, she is ready to go to bed. She don't got time for any of this foolishness that Sheree is setting up. And Cairo looking just as nervous, like, oh my God, don't anybody touch my baby. Oh my God, I don't want my baby to have any germs. There's too many people here. He looks like a very responsible father. That's what I will say. Him and his baby mama was like, oh child, we didn't even really agree with this, but you know what? She paying for it. Okay, cool. We'll let it happen. So they take pictures with the baby, and there's some random woman in the photo with them, and people are speculating, is that Bob's girlfriend? Who's this lady? And Candy says, unless he got an extra daughter we don't know about. And come to find out, it is his daughter. So apparently, Bob, after the photo, introduces the woman named Candace to Sheree. And Candace says, finally we get to meet each other. The kid, my brothers and sisters, yeah, they are, they were really nice to me, and we've connected really well. And so basically, Sheree kids knew about this chick, and she didn't. So this is the third one of Bob's children that he had before Cairo and Kylie. I think that's the other girl's name. So this is his third kid before them two. So those two are his youngest children with Sheree. And the two children that Sheree knew about, that were Bob's before they got married. She thought she knew about all his kids before they got married, but apparently she didn't. So this daughter, Candace, was the third kid, and Bob knew about her at some point and never told Sheree. But Sheree is like, you know what, Bob always damn lying, so whatever. So moving on, Kenya in her confessional even says, well, hell, I met Bob when he was married to Sheree, and he was talking to one of my damn friends, and I ain't know Sheree and him were married. I didn't know that him and Sheree were married. So, child, uh, Bob always been on that bull. Okay. So moving on. The ladies are talking about the random daughter situation, and Candy is saying, "What the heck is going on?" to Bob, because Bob walks over and she was like, "I've known you for all this time, and I ain't never known you had no another kid." And he was like, "What is this, a grill Bob type of moment?" He was like, "I ain't know this was Bob's Inquisition." He was like, "Wait till I bring the twins, and then y'all really go off when you see them." Then they were like, "What?" And he was like, "I'm just kidding." This man plays too much. He has a very inappropriate humor to me, and it's very dark. And I'm usually I'm good with dark humor sometimes, but not when it can be very true and hurtful. Child, I wouldn't be surprised if Sheree ain't smashing Bob off once or twice, child. Anyway, she says Bob's been a piece of SHI. He always gonna be a piece of SHI. So when she walks over there to talk to the girls, and they take a photo and move on, okay. In the after show, I thought it was interesting that Sanya had something to say about Akilah wearing blue, and everybody else was wearing nude colors or like a skin tone color, because Kenya had on brown. But there were a bunch of other people that weren't dressed in nude. Maybe I guess it was an issue for her because Akilah is somewhat a part of the cast. But I'm like, Sanya, girl, shut up. You are not the fashion queen of the group. So, girl, mind your business. Also, y'all, I wanted to point out this person. Who is this lady? Because they seem to have been, there have been a lot of scenes that were shot around this woman. So here she go again over here. Like, it's giving she was testing to be on the show, and they have done their absolute best to work around her. Like, y'all watch this, if y'all watch the show back, you'll see her in like a lot of the scenes at the sip and see. Who is this lady? Y'all comment down below and let me know who sis is, if she is of any importance. She actually kind of looks like a chick that was on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I might go back and see if I can find her picture, because I'm like, girl, what, is you here with Martell in secret? Or were you testing to be on the show and didn't make the cut and they had to edit around you? I don't know what's going on here, but it don't look right. I'm just saying. I see some things. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that is watching this disastrous season with us. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.